So normally we've been using this Windows Forms app.NET framework for this app, and maybe the bank login you might have to use this. Your final or your test Friday, more than likely you'll end up having to use this Windows Form app compared to that .NET framework we've been using to get some of it to work. So we'll go ahead and do next. And I will do it what's called booster pack. I'm going to put in my object class examples. You guys put it in your lab, prepper lab. .8 or .NET 8 long-term support. That's the one you want to choose from the drop-down. They have 6, 7, and 8. 8 usually works with everything.
Hold on.
Mr. D, what's the major difference between the .NET framework and this one?
I haven't looked too much into it. I think the .NET framework's more for the web-based kind of stuff.
Okay.
That using it. And that's when I started teaching this class this semester. I thought with doing it towards the web, that's what we were using, but it looked like on some of Mr. OG's videos they were using the just the one without the .NET framework. So I think everything's pretty much worked the same, except now we've hit these interfaces and it's kind of caused an issue, and there was a date formatting thing that kind of caused an issue. That's the two things I found so far. Might have had one other issue come up, but I was able to find a solution for it to get it to work right and haven't worried too much about it. So we'll go ahead. I'll just start out with the form already up and just throw what we need onto our form. We're going to use this picture box controller out of our common controls. So you can take a picture box, throw it up on your screen, make it what size. I had some problems to get my images to fit right last night, and due to time and that, I really didn't care to mess with it. So if my images are messed up, you'll know why. So do Control C, Control V, get 4 of them up there. Put a label under each one of them. And then a button.
One button.
Heck yeah. My button, I'll just say open new pack, I think is what it says on the rubric. Open another pack.
Did you already name your labels?
No, I'm getting ready to go back through. I'll just call my button open pack. Call it whatever you want. Label 1. Just LBL. Pick 1. Don't need any text on that. Level 2, LBL, pick 2, LBL, pick 3, course, we need our picture boxes.
What did you name the labels?
LBO PIC 1 through 4. I spelt it out. For my label, that was just my label. I didn't do my group box or my picture box yet. But that'll just be like PB for picture box. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do PB1 with the number on it just to save a little bit of time. PB2, PB3, PB4. I'm not gonna bring the pictures in yet. I was messing with it last night. The first time I had the pictures in, working, looking good. Second time I was messing with it, I broke my app because of the pictures and didn't feel like messing with it. So
What's the name of the picture boxes? Sorry.
PB 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that way if it breaks again, at least we'll have the code part. You can always mess with the pictures later. So now that we got our form set up, we'll right click on our booster pack or whatever you named your lab up there. We'll do an add. We'll add a class, and we'll start out with the iCard class. We can add another class. Now it'll be our normal card class. And then we can add our last one finally, our shiny card class. Give everybody time to catch up with that real quick. Everybody caught up? Still hear a little bit of typing going on. So in our iCard class, what we're going to have to do now is we'll make it public.
Yeah.
Yep, iCard, we're creating our own interface, so we can call it what we want. We're calling it iCard for this one. Instead of internal, we make it public, call it an interface.
And we remove the class, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And remove the class, so you should have public interface iCard. And again, the interfaces are just setting up a template that anybody that calls it or uses it has to have this stuff in it to make it work. So any kind of members in it, any kind of constructor or method or get, set, it all has to be in here. So first thing we'll do is shows that show card. So we'll do a void show card. And this is the constructor here. Picture box. I'm just calling mine picture. I think
Shouldn't it be public? The Rubik set.
on the interface for the show card.
Yeah, it said that it's public.
Okay.
Wouldn't it already be public in the scope though? Technically?
Technically it should, since it's in this interface one, but it doesn't matter. So then I need picture box and a label in there. And so capital label, since we're using the label object. And the reason those are capitalized and they're green like that is because these are the objects from the system that we're using. So the system's supplying us with this picture box object, which is the controller that we put on our page, and a label that we put on our page. So they're both objects that the system's supplying with us for us. And so we're just using that object and giving it a new name, just like we've been using like color and style and that and the other ones. Yeah, Tim. Zoom, yeah. Yep. So just like we've been using the objects in the past, like that photo one and the I don't think we used it for the letter one, but the photo one where we used color, style, and material, that's kind of what we're doing here with this one. So then we need to put our two properties in here. So we'll do a string. You can do public if you want. String name. And we'll do a get. We don't need a set. And then we'll do a pub. We're going to just do an image for this one. Image, and get. I think some people's things might show a system.drawing, something like this. .image. So what this is saying here, the system.drawing.image, is the system is using that drawing class, and then the objects coming from it is the image. And so you may get that. What's that? You don't really need it. I know in like Java, like if you look at the top of your page up there where it says using system, I know Java you can just put an asterisk like that and it pulls everything that the system has to offer. You can add it up here if you want to. You can do using system.drawing and do it like that, and then you can take that off the back of your code if you want to, and you can do it like that and not have to worry about it. But I don't think, if you don't put this using system.drawing up there, I don't think it throws an error with the way it's working nowadays. Yeah.
It's giving me errors for putting public in front of the show card and the string name. Should I just get rid of it?
We're also good with that.
Yeah, you can take it off. You don't necessarily need that.
Is it because we chose like the other, because I think we did, I still chose .NET.
Yeah, you'll end up having issues then using that .NET with some of this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if you're using that .NET, you'll end up having some problems with it here and there.
So it's the error.
What's that?
It says here I got one error, but it is not what it is.
So that should be all we need for our iCard interface for the moment. So let's go take a look at we'll take a look at our normal card next, since it doesn't need as much as the shiny card. So we'll go to our normal card class. The normal card we're going to call the iCard class, and of course iCard's not going to be happy. Anybody know why it's not happy? No, when we set up our interface, and I do need to change that, when we set up our interface, that interface says we have to use that stuff out of there. So our iCards, we have the show card method and this get and set for the string and image. Our normal card, we're not calling any of that stuff yet, so our iCard's going to be mad. So if you have a wonder why that is like it is, that's why.
I think it also wants you to put in value in iCard.
Yeah, the gets and sets and all that stuff. So yeah, we got to code that out still. Setting up our normal card class. So we'll get our instance field set up. So we'll do private string underscore name, private image underscore image, and a private double underscore value. I think that's what it's asking for in this rubric. String name, image, double value, so we got that. Do our normal card constructor. So we'll do public normal card. And what is this called right here that we're working on line 15? That is the constructor. So when I say something about the constructor, that's what I'm talking about, is that there. So we're going to put our variables in there that we're passing through. So we're going to pass a string value of name in there. We're going to do an image, and a double for the value. Put our curly brackets at the end. And this is where until, since it's nice, knows we need the name. I don't like that. Or no, it is underscore image, isn't it? Yep, underscore image and underscore value. Now the iCard is still mad. That's because we haven't called that method yet for the iCard. So we can go ahead and do that. We'll do public void show card. And that show card tells us we need what, a picture box and a label value in there. So we can do picture box, picture, and label. So in our interface class, when we declare our method in here, the show card method, we don't have to put body or anything on it. This, all we have to do is give it a method signature and say use this method signature, and then code it out however you need to code it out. But you have to use this method signature. So we can go back to our normal class, and we're going to do picture.image equals underscore image, and label.text is going to equal the name. So that show card is going to put our picture of the card up on the screen, and that label text is going to show the name of the Pokemon that are appearing on the screen. And for now, that's all we're going to do with this class.
Can you go back to the images?
Back to the interface.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, iCard.
Yeah, I'm not quite done yet with the. This is iCard here.
Okay.
I forgot part of our normal card class, so we'll have to go back to that. You done with that? Okay, let's go back to our normal cards. I didn't put our getters and setters in there, and that's why the iCard is still unhappy up at top. iCard has a couple getters and setters we need. And we didn't put everything in, so we'll do a public string name. We're going to return name. Public image. We're going to get and return image. And then finally our public double value. We're going to get and return that. So now our iCard should be happy since we're calling the name and image getter that it was using over here, our name and image getter over here. We call them here, and now it makes our iCard up top happy that we use the name and image accessors. So for now, that's all we need for this class. So now we'll go take a look at our shiny cards. Scroll down. Good? Alright, so let's go to our shiny cards. Call it public. And we're going to call the iCard interface again. So I think this one needs quite a lot of values and parameters that we're going to use here. Let's take a look. Shiny card. So we need a name, an image, a value, a font, a back color, and a forecolor for this one. So go ahead and code that out. So we'll do private. Private string underscore name. Private image underscore image. Private double value. Private font underscore font. Private color. I'm going to call this back color. And private color for color. So that's the instance fields we need for this one. We'll go ahead and create our constructor. And of course our constructor has to have the same name as our class. So shiny card it is. I'm going to pass in a string name, an image, a double value, font, color, back color, and a color for color. And again, if you look at it, the reason like the image, the font, the color are green, and we're using the capitals like that for our data type. That's because we're using those objects that are supplied by the system. And so we're going to use those and just set them to a variable. So now we got to assign the values to our instance fields. So it'll be name, underscore name equals name, underscore image equals image, value. Font, back color, forward color. That's when IntelliSense is nice. What's that? Yeah. I think I might have, but I changed mine or bumped something at the beginning or redid it, and it ended up not showing in the end. So again, iCard is not happy. So we got to put our method in from the iCard interface. So public void show card. And again, our picture box, picture, and label. Label. So in the show card for this one, we're going to be setting our font and some backgrounds and stuff to a different color. So when we do the show card on this one, we need to do a picture.image is going to equal our image. Label.text is going to equal the name. We have a label.font is going to equal our font. Label.forecolor is going to equal our forecolor, or we can do back color first, it doesn't matter. I'll do back color since that's how we have it. Back color is back color, label forecolor is forecolor. So now when we call that show card method that was supplied in our interface, it's going to add some font coloring in that to it, some styling with it. So we added our properties from our iCard interface to our Shiny Card class to get our iCard happy up there. That's all we should need for this class for now. So before we start coding the actual button click in our form, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll take about a 15-minute break. Get everybody refreshed for this next part of coding coming up since we got the easy part out of the way. And then when you guys get back about a quarter after, we'll start coding the form out itself. So now that we have our classes finished, we'll go ahead and start actually coding out our form, our button click event. So we'll double click on our button and get that wired up. There's our open pack click. So first thing we gotta do is create a couple lists and put some stuff in it. So we'll do a list, iCard. Yeah, I put it in my button click event. I wasn't paying attention. Control X. So I'm going to put them up top here. To list iCard. Let's do cards equals new list iCard, and then we'll do another one, a list iCard selected cards equals new list iCards. So then, under our initialize component here, we're going to put our list in there, and that way when this form loads, it'll load our list right away and all of our cards and our characters. So we'll do a list.add. I'm going to say normal card.
I think you're doing it in the initialized component.
Underneath it I am. Yep.
It's in. Oh, we're not supposed to do that?
Yep, that way when the page loads, it catches all this right away. Yep.
Maybe the button click thing will work.
The what?
I get the button click thing will work. I can't, won't let me double click it.
What did you do?
What did you?
So, adding to our list, we got to put all of our properties and values in here. So we'll do normal card, Charizard. Properties. That resources. Not Charizard. This might not be happy until we actually load our.
I think it's just
What's that?
I think it's just in properties.
Yeah, it switched for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to copy and paste the rest of those.
I mean, that's like the exact code for mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
One, two, three,
How many is
four,
that?
5, 6, 7.
Do you get like 10?
It ends up being like 11.
Okay.
Mine doesn't need resource for properties at all, just resources.
Okay.
And it's 11 items.
That's what I got on there. Yep. Charizard. E-C-I-D-U-E-Y. Dragonair. Dratini. I never heard of that one.
Oh, it's sun and moons.
Is it?
It's the line and the big bat thing in their generation, their pseudo. That's him. Yeah, the dude with like all the chainmail, the scale mail armor. That's him. Yeah, the Kamala. No, that's not. You're thinking of something related. I mean, it might be certain shit. When I do it.
Is that underscore O?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Thank you.
Is it?
Still doing it.
Still doing it?
Yep. I even remade the whole project.
Damn, how did you mess that up?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's silver roll. Well, that's because he's going to use Zoro from No, he's using Zoro. It all looks like it is.
What's the point of that?
Because that would mean he's using Zoro.
Oh my god. Just
At least not if that is the is that a visual difference? Or selected card for the shiny card?
No, when it pulls the cards out the display, that's going to be the selected cards.
So that's gonna be better.
Yep.
Uh,
So we'll do.
For some reason, my normal cards are showing the squigglies.
Do you have the new keyword in front of them?
That would be picky.
Yeah.
Should we just copy and paste this list?
Yeah, you can. We're going to add some more stuff to it, but I'm just going to do one and then I'll copy and paste the new one that I'm setting up. So we'll do new shiny card. Shiny. And let's see.
Rainbow rares. No, People would have
The shiny cards will have more because we put that font styling and all that, the coloring and stuff into it, so there will be more to that one.
Wait, shouldn't it?
It'll be 11 still. I thought you meant the parameters or values we're putting into them. Using Comic Sans, we had a guy that I worked with. He was supposed to be our architect of the project, which sets up all the standards and everything we're supposed to use and this and that. He wasn't doing his job. They busted him down to back to a developer again. We're making this big application for the government, for the Air Force to use, and he's using Comic Sans font for his stuff. And the crazy thing is, nobody caught it, and it went into production like that, and it was like that until I left the project. So, yeah. Well, this same guy, we were supposed to start by like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he didn't show up most days till 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And when he was the architect, you know, and even a developer, you still count on him to come in and work with the team on stuff. And you'd ask him like, man, why are you always so late? You know, what's up? And he's like, I don't need an alarm clock to tell me when to get up. My body tells me when it's time to get up. And it's like, oh my God, dude, come on.
I mean, that is healthy at least.
Yeah,
At least he's getting a healthy amount of sleep. You can't blame him for that.
Well, in the end, it cost him his job because everybody got tired of him doing that. But yeah, it's like, holy cow.
His doctor's like, yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's the doctor's fault. All of a sudden.
So now I gotta rename my characters.
Someone over there. Does it need to be in a specific order? I'm pretty simple. I think how do reverse four if you would just say like, is it a 11 shiny cards?
Yes.
Okay. I equal your list that went. Say as long as I rate 0.
Is that easier working your mouse up that way, Timothy? Is that easier working your mouse up that way?
The counter
So I noticed you doing it yesterday, and I kind of wondered.
Thank you. But I was like, I don't want to record. I feel like they overly complicated ways to don't use I can. Yeah, that should be it. All right, thank you. Maybe 33. I think that's
If you use the not the .NET framework one, I don't have properties or anything listed in mine either. I have dependencies, and then my form, my iCard, my normal class.
You don't have a property?
Nope.
I'm double checking that Henry does based on. Well, that's probably why you're not able to get that. Yeah, not bad. Someone has their mic. Oh, I just turned my volume off.
Who is it? Call them out.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad.
Who was it? Uh, let me change my values. 12, 13. So that should be both lists. I'll give you a couple more minute or two to get that caught up. We have our button click event set up, ready to go.
I'm good.
You good? All right, so we'll start out. And the first thing is we'll do set up our random. So we'll do what's that?
I just wanted to say that I heard. Ready to BS, go.
So that's just setting up a couple variables for the randoms. We'll do a for loop equals. We want I is less than 4 technically. That's going to be the 4 cards that get put out to the screen. So we'll do an int random card equals the RNG next. I believe that should be 12 to get our 11 Pokemon. No, 11 because we're starting at 0. So that should get through our 11 Pokemon. Do int shiny card. Oops, this should be shiny chance. So shiny card and shiny chance. Next. So. Yeah, to get it through a 20% chance, that's the way it's going to get set up.
Feels like it's been a minute since we've used random.
Yeah, when is the last time we did use it?
I think, yeah, I think we used it at some point in this class, I just can't remember.
Well, I know rock, paper, scissors, we used it on that one. I thought maybe one after that, but maybe not.
I think it was like 1 or 10 after that, but I haven't.
Yeah, I don't remember the one since that. So now we'll do an if statement to get our cards. So if
So that was it. We used rock, paper, scissors console app, and then we made a formula of that. That's what we did.
is greater than or equal to 11 and shiny card is less than or equal to. I had 21 here. ChatGPT said to use 30 to get that actual 20% chance, so we'll see what happens. Put our body tags, and since this is only one line of code, you don't necessarily need to put the body curly brackets for the body tags on there. So you could technically write it like this if you want to. Oops. So you could write it like
It just feels weird without the brackets.
I know, and like I said, all the years I've ever coded, I've always used the brackets. So I'm going to end up putting them back in there just because I'm old school and feel comfortable that way.
I don't like change.
Yeah. So I'm going to put my brackets in there. Like I said, I'm just old school that way. We'll do an else statement here saying if it's not a shiny card, we're just going to put a random card in there. For loops closed. After that, we're gonna get our selected cards. Do a dot sort on those. And then selected cards. We're gonna put our selected cards out. So 0 dot show card, and then we need what, a picture box and a label. And actually I'm just going to copy and paste this here to save a couple seconds. Looks weird having the index 0, 1, 2, 3, but then yet our labels are all 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's getting the 4 selected cards out of there. Gonna put the picture and the label with them. And then what we can do after this is we'll make a reset method. This will clear everything out. For every time we click the button, it will be cleared and switch. If not, some of them will stay the same and put picture over picture as we go through. So we'll do use a clear method. Set everything back to the default.
What is that DB1?
My picture box. So that sets all my fonts back to default. That sets my background color back to the default. And this is going to set my label 4 color back to default.
Do you not need that IComparable anymore?
Need what?
Do you not need that IComparable and iCard then?
We're getting ready to go put that in now. So I was just coding this out. We're going to take a look at the rubric and say, well, we still need our IComparable.
Right, because it will error right now if it's not comparable. Look at that. Sort.
Oh, there it is saying using IComparable. Get that off so you can see the code. Pull this down. Everybody good with that? I don't hear any no's. So, somebody getting ready to say something? So once we create this reset method, we need to take it, put it at the top of our button click. That way every time it comes in, it resets all the values and everything. Yeah.
Does the rubric state that we need that? Or just like where that's how we're doing?
It'll make it look nice as you click through it. I don't know how far if you got to that point yet where you're doing this, but this way it clears all the text. If it's a shiny, you hit a shiny and you keep going through and don't reset it, your text could stay whatever color you set your text to be and stuff like that. So as we run this, we can comment it out and see what difference it makes if we want. So let's go back to our interface, our iCard class. And now we're going to call that IComparable. IComparable, and we want the iCard in there. So then we'll go to our normal card class, and we'll add that in there. And we'll say public int compared to. So then we'll do if this dot value is less than other value.
The other dot value.
No, just other value. Oh yeah, other dot value, I'm sorry. Thank you. And return -1. I don't know why I put all that. IntelliSense.
I was like, why is more than one set of squiggly brackets?
So we'll do else if this dot value is greater than other dot value. Return 1, and then finally else return 0.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's not there.
So in our iCard we need to put a double value and then a get for that. And as we add that, that should make our normal card happy. And then we can just copy this method we put in here and then go to our shiny class and do the same thing. Yep, into your shiny card. What's that? So now if we run this at this point, we don't have any pictures in, but we should be able to see our text change. Got a build error. That's because of the name of my properties. I guess we'll have to put the photos in first. So we'll go to our form. And then when you look at these picture boxes, up in the upper right hand corner is a little arrow up there. And you click on that and you can choose image. There's no images out there yet. So if you haven't downloaded them, I need to go download mine real quick. So cancel that. Yep. So I gotta go get mine real quick.
Can you download
I gotta think of where they were. Let me get them. Yep. You have zip file, extract them,
maybe don't extract it off that.
and then wherever you extract them to, you can go find them from there.
We're like putting it on my desktop.
download?
Yeah, just
Oh yeah, so you got it in.
Choosing none for my images.
shouldn't come.
So I'm gonna look at my code.
Might have to re-download it really quick.
I think I accidentally saved it.
So do I not have a Pikachu in mine, or is it named something different?
No, that's.
It's actually a Pikachu for some reason. It's actually-
Oh, it's showing you a text on. Okay. That's not. No, it's converted.
You know, so you go so loud, just delete those and then re-download it and then go right here.
So it's -F.
Wait, let me see if I can paste. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And then you open it back up, go to back to that. And it should be downloads. Then you can click and then drag them. No, not that. Just, you can click and drag, get all of them in one click. I think it's shift actually. You can like do that and then.
Yeah, if you hold shift and click on the first one, then click on that last one, it should get them all.
Do that for all of them.
No, once you do
With
it
that
once,
30 on
they're all
there?
in there. So you
Yep.
click one and then you go to a different one. So you go to that one now.
And it breaks. So that's kind of the issue I was having last night with it. But I think if you change that 30 back to a 21, oh, see, I got it working. Nope, there it went, finally broke. But yeah, if you, I think if you change it to 21,
Yeah, it works.
yeah. Like I said, I didn't take the time to go dig through it and find out exactly why. So now, as you click on it, it should kind of scroll through them. It looks like the fore color and back color of the text need to be cleaned up. But you can see the shiny ones are actually changed colors. And I had a background color on there behind it that it should change, but
After you put in the images, did you do something on the code?
yeah, I went back to where it said if shiny card is greater than or equal to 11 and shiny card is less than or equal to 30. I changed that back to 21. So if you change that from 30 to 21, you should be able to just keep clicking through it and having it switch properly. Like yeah, with the 30. So if you switch it back to a 21 there instead of 30.
Yeah, it should. What's weird about it is it line 59. That was the weirdest one about it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what? Wait, should it not be 22?
We could try it and see.
Should it not be like 23 or something so that way, or it should be 22 so that way you can get the shiny Zora.
The compare to method? Isn't
Yeah, because I don't know if you got shiny Zora before.
I haven't run through it enough with it being random to catch it, and there it finally broke again. So I think once it gets over that 22. What's that?
Just add a underscore F because the file name is
Yeah,
weird.
it's the way it's dashed like that. Oh, you're right.
the compare to method?
Yeah.
In card? It's like it's green.
Yeah, and if you hover over it, it's telling you because it's implemented through the interface that it technically gets referenced in the background and not through the code-like thing, so that's why it ends up being like that.
It's been in my slot. It's been in my slot for like 5 holes. I was like,
Shiny underscore shiny.
Wait, hold up, wait, what?
I
Does
don't
he
know
have
about
20?
Oh, they're on timeout, so I don't know how early it'll be.
7:30. It's not even.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you.